Good afternoon. I am Joe Hunk, and the Titans have defeated the Dolphins, which we all know now means that the Titans are AFC champs. But during the game, we saw the Michael Pruitt injury. Apparently, he is having surgery today and may actually be out right now. But with that being said, there's also something that we need to know. Mike Vrabel, please give us an update on Derrick Henry.
Yeah, we've discussed it. We'll see where that goes. He's doing some work today, and we'll see when that window opens, and probably make a decision midweek.
Dang it, man. Okay, the Vols have also slipped in the polls in the basketball poll as they have dropped from 14 to 18 after losing to the Alabama Crimson Tide last week. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to go visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your AFC South champion, Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL is on the air. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport. What up, Don?
What up? I don't have headphones right now, but I'm going to have them in a little bit. They're in my car. I just forgot them. Hi! Happy Victory Monday.
Look at that. She passes it back to Doherty coming down the middle of the floor. He's got a man filling the hole on the left side up above the rim. There he is. He's Rod Slay. Boom!
Hey, I'm in the building. Best believe I'm in the building. Better be ready. I'm in the building. Come on, time for the show.
Well, we got a lot to get into today. The Titans are divisional champions again, which, guess what? Means nothing right now.
No?
Don't care. They don't care.
Well, guess what, Mayor? Yeah, I'm going to say, get them, Babs. Get them, Babs.
Hold on.
Get them, Babs. You almost pulled me in with them, too.
It's okay to celebrate this.
Nah,
and
not right now.
They do care because Mike Vrabel said, I'll see you on Wednesday.
Well,
So
yeah,
did.
and Taylor Lewan cried and all that. Yeah, you care for like 10 minutes, but you've moved past you've moved beyond the caring thing. Now, if you're a fan, you care all day long.
Right.
Go for it. I'm all for you caring. I'm just talking from their perspective. And that's why I love Kevin Byard saying, look, man, the goal is a Super Bowl for this city. That's it.
So are they saying that like he said there's more meat on the bone? AJ said we're just getting started. So is this the norm now? Titans control the AFC South?
Wait, what are you saying? That they expect to do
hello?
things like this?
Yes, I mean.
Is that what you've been saying that all year?
I mean, hey.
And here we are.
Here it is. Okay. All right.
And
That is not a mind of an underdog either.
And that is a culture change.
Boom.
Yeah.
Shift.
That is a
It
shift.
is.
Thanks for throwing that F on there real hard. It's like punctured lung Tony, real hard. Yeah.
Hey, man,
this is a show for the people.
Yeah.
This ain't a show for the Titans players.
We want to hear it.
So celebrate away. Here's the thing, though. I mean, it is significant what they've done, and they've got more to do. We all know that,
Yep.
and we get it. But they've never, like, the AFC South became a division in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
Before last year, the Titans had won twice. In the last 2 seasons, they've won twice. Back-to-back division champs for the first time ever in the AFC South.
That's the other reason that I'm like, it's a big deal.
No, it is. I'm just saying, like, if I should have specified from a player perspective, from a coach perspective,
Okay.
in the moment, you celebrate it. Like, my favorite comment coming out of yesterday was Buck Rising said he was talking to A.J. Brown in the tunnel. And he asked him, did Ryan Tannehill say anything this week leading up to playing his old team or wanting it a little bit more because he used to play all those things? He's like, no, not until like in the fourth quarter when he wanted to put it on him. He said, let's get a couple more so we can put it on him.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
I love that.
I would think he would do that for against any team, too.
I didn't even think that was in his little bones, though.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, hell yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
put it on him.
No,
That
I'm
guy
with you on
hasn't stuck around
Listen.
and done what he's done as
That's
long
true.
as he has without
That's
a
true.
little, like,
Look.
I was about to say, God, I've been off the air for too
Yeah,
long. I got to wash my
come
mouth.
back. Come back.
Without a little,
Come back.
forget you.
A little moxie.
That's right.
Wait, we need a yellow light for the yellow light?
Yes, we do.
Oh, that's a bad place to be.
But yeah, this is true. But I always thought he was the let me say what's right type of guy.
He's a robot.
Yeah, there you go.
He's a robot.
He is. I watched his post-game interview with, was it with, I forget who it was with now. I'm sorry. It wasn't
okay.
Diana. It was somebody else. Anyway.
Dirty Diana.
Whoever worked the sidelines for the game. Yeah, but anyway.
Oh.
Yes. And
Yeah, my wife looked up and she's like, wow, she's really pretty.
yeah, and I was like, oh, this is great. Like, maybe we'll see a little more personality than what we get on a, like, weekly Zoom
Right.
from Ryan Tannehill, right?
Yep.
Nope. Boring.
All right.
See,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
all
we
I'm saying.
definitely have time for you to celebrate on our phone lines. We'd love for you to contribute to today's show, 615-737-1045. It is a Victory Monday all day on 1045 The Zone. If you're a Titans fan, let us hear it. If you're an Antonio Brown fan, let us hear it. If you're a Purdue fan, let us hear it.
Yeah.
If you're a Bama or a Georgia fan, let us hear it.
We want to hear from y'all. I don't want to hear from no Purdue fans.
SEC.
If you're an OJ fan, let us hear it.
SEC.
Yeah,
SEC. SEC.
615-737.
For a while, South Carolina was the only
1045.
SEC team holding
win.
down the fort.
Holding
bowl
it down.
season.
By the way, I'm going Georgia -2.5 right now. I'm going to tell you right now on the
You
show.
are? You are.
It's reverse rat poison theory. See, Nick Saban said, by the way, happy 15-year anniversary, Bama fans, for Nick Saban. 15 years ago today, he was hired at Alabama and introduced. After he said that
Thank you, Bob.
he got really mad at a reporter saying he wasn't leaving Miami to go to Alabama. Well, he did. And 6 national titles later. Do you know how Chris Lowe put this out there? And Chris Lowe will join us at 4:45. Chris Lowe put this out there. In the 14 years prior to Nick Saban arriving at Alabama, you know how many SEC titles Alabama had?
How many?
1.
Are you kidding me?
In the 15 years since he took that job, what's the number? It's 6 national titles. I know that.
Unbelievable.
That is. I'm gonna be real.
Just unreal.
That's one thing you got to do, man. If like, man, you got to always tip your hat, man, and pat on the back for greatness. Listen, I don't care if it's a
Agreed.
rival or anything. Like, I
don't
mean,
care.
some
care
of
you're
it is
an
just
Auburn graduate.
like
Doesn't matter.
8 SEC titles, 6 national titles. He's playing for his 7th one on Monday.
I'll give you Auburn.
No, but Nick Saban in the last Georgia meeting, they're the underdog. So, he said that Georgia got all the rat poison.
Mm-hmm.
And because Alabama was the underdog. I'm going to flip it now because everybody nationally will be like, I'm not betting against Nick Saban. I learned my lesson. Alabama's winning this game. I don't care how many points Georgia's favored by. So the rat poison will actually go toward Alabama this week, I think. So I'm going to go Georgia. Also because I picked them to win the national title before the season.
That's
Yes.
what I was waiting on.
Yeah. And when they lost to Alabama, I did not say that the season was over. I'm just saying.
You just hold on.
What about all those that said the season was over when Derrick Henry was
just wait.
gone? What about those?
You just wait. Listen,
Those people need to get ready because that dude's coming back this week.
I got a big
I don't know if he'll play on Sunday.
goal.
You're on the radio.
I got a big old
Are we going back to Blaine and Mickey?
rifle with a clip that's missing.
Oh.
That's gonna be full of "I told you so," and you were
Whenever
wrong.
he comes back.
Nope. As soon as they win against Houston, so
By the way-
everybody be on the lookout.
10.5-point favorite. They win in Houston. They are the number 1 seed in the AFC. They get home field throughout, and they get the bye.
Can we? I know. I
How amazing is
understand.
that?
It's amazing. And they lose Derrick Henry. And here's the deal. I know that this is a tired subject. I know it is. And I know there's a lot of Titans fans out there that are like, who cares what national people say? Who cares that the Titans don't get attention? And I'm with you. I get that. And the Titans don't care. And Vrabel plays that underdog thing just like Nick Saban has just ingrained into this year's Alabama team.
Right. Right.
Nobody believes in you. You guys, they all think you're terrible,
Right.
which is crazy to me, but it's working because you hear all of his players say, everybody counts us out this year. Everybody has counted us
They
out
played the
all
underdog
year long,
versus
right?
Cincinnati.
So kind of like same thing with the Titans and Vrabel. So that's fine. But seriously, how in the heck
It's not supposed to happen, Babs.
are these national people not giving the Titans that are currently the number one
It's
seed
amazing.
any attention whatsoever?
It's amazing.
I watched Scott Van Pelt last night on SportsCenter, right? Stayed up late, watched Scott. He's the best, legit.
He turned SportsCenter back into a thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it was dead.
A lot of the younger crew don't remember, like, SportsCenter used to be the thing in that all of the anchors had these tremendous personalities, and they had all these catchphrases, and they were all entertainers, and then at some point, you can stay out of this conversation, Babs, but it's true. At some point, they said, no more of that. We want the meat and potatoes of sports highlights. Here you go. And Scott Van Pelt gave it personality.
Yes, he did.
Anyway.
He's so good.
Yes.
So his first 22 minutes of SportsCenter last night, 22 minutes without a commercial break, no mention of the Titans. Packers, Chiefs, Bucks. Break, came back, talked about the Titans as I fell asleep.
Yeah.
And even said in his segment, this is how good Scott Van Pelt is. Everybody is overlooking this team. Nobody's talking about the Titans. I'm like,
And he said, even me. He said, even me.
And he said, even me. You watched it too.
Yep.
And I said, exactly. Even him. Look at that.
Yep.
They're like 27 minutes into SportsCenter, and they're the number one seed in the playoffs right now in the AFC.
I don't know how this isn't a major story.
It's
when you
crazy.
consider what those guys are. Number one, Mike Vrabel's coach of the year.
Yeah.
Shut up with the Matt LaFleur crowd. Like, great job. Everybody, there have been other coaches that have done great jobs, no question.
Right.
But dealing with what these dudes have had to deal with in that locker room this year, that is a huge story. Not just NFL story, but sports story.
Yeah.
Especially with the
resiliency.
disrespect. Yes.
Yes.
And the disrespect that is just head to toe laid on Ryan Tannehill as a quarterback. How do you not point to Mike Vrabel as the coach of the year? If nationally, a majority of the national media members, I believe, think Ryan Tannehill is garbage, right?
Yeah. Yep.
At least from what they say, or
You
that's
definitely
one
can't
of
get it
their
done.
takes.
Yep.
And I realize I sound like a homer right now, but you guys know me. I am not
No,
a
most
homerific
definitely
kind
not.
of Titans person ever.
Most definitely not.
But on top of that, if they think that Tannehill is garbage, then even more so, to your point, Brent, Mike Vrabel is the coach.
Your phone calls, your reaction. Titans in a great spot here. 615-737-1045. What's the latest with the Derrick Henry situation? We kind of teased that a little bit. We'll tease it again right now. Talk about that when we come back. Take more of your phone calls. We have two lines open. Jump on them. We want your reaction today on 1045 The Zone.
Brand new year. And sometimes I just want to sing. But I'd rather buy a car.
I think you
And
need
how
a
would I?
baseline underneath that or something.
You want a little bass line?
Barry White harmonizing with you or something.
Listen, man. There you go. See, Babs knows what it is. Hey, instead of doing that, instead of coming to see me perform and sing on stage, go to a car dealership, and that car dealership is at 2430 Gallatin Pike North. Listen, I had a partner hit me up. When was it? Saturday. And was like, man, you know where I can get a car? And I said, do I know where you can get a car? Have you ever heard me? Music City Autoplex. That's where you can go get a car. Listen, man, you go in there, and I'm going to tell you who to go and ask for. This time, man, go ask my man, Big Daddy Gaddy, man, Robert Gaddy, man. I'm telling you right now, send him over there. He going to take care of it. The car's lined up. Dealership is full. You can get your car. Low mileage cars. They will not let you down. 2430 Gallatin Pike North. Come on, man. It's so simple. Music City Autoplex. Go get your car.
Here is a New Year's resolution idea from my friends at Accurate Mortgage Group. They say homeowners who have resolved to be more financially responsible in 2022 are in luck. Interest rates are still low, and if your home's value has increased, it may be the perfect time to take advantage of a cash-out refinance loan. With that cash, you could pay off higher interest debts like credit cards or auto or student loans, or you could remodel, potentially increase the value of your home and even more. Not only do low rates mean more savings when refinancing, but they also mean a bigger budget when you're shopping for a new home. Many of our listeners have trusted Accurate with their loans, but here's what one client said about working with them. We had a wonderful experience with this mortgage company. They were on top of things all the time and made things super easy for us. We would use them again. Find out if a cash out refinance is right for you. Visit Accurate today. AccurateMTG.com. That's AccurateMTG.com. Accurate Mortgage Group, a division of Acopia LLC, is an equal housing lender. NMLS number 4664.
I formation for Tennessee. Tannehill has 7 rushing touchdowns himself. Play fake. He throws. Man is wide open. Touchdown! Titans, Jeffrey Swaim.
Couple of touchdown passes to tight ends for Ryan Tannehill. Telling you, man, I was talking with some people about, like, we hadn't been on the air as a show since Christmas Eve, but the take on the Dolphins was, and I even said it that week when we were trying to break down the last 4, the Dolphins are paper Dolphins.
Yeah.
They hadn't beaten anybody that's in the playoffs. Like, you watch Tua, he doesn't throw the ball down the field. Now
that's what people are saying about the Titans.
Yeah, that's fine. The Titans are much better than the Dolphins.
Clearly.
But I mean,
34-3 better.
They had beaten the Jets twice. They had beaten the Giants. They did beat Baltimore.
Yeah, they beat Baltimore early on in their run.
But, they're Tua, I'll have to find the stats, but Tua said that they were trying to throw the ball down the field. I think he was 6 of 18 in throws beyond 10 yards.
Well, he missed Waddle on another.
You know why?
Big
because
one.
he's not a starting quarterback in the NFL.
I was just
he's
going to
just
say,
not.
like, if you're a Dolphins fan, are you like, crap?
And I like the guy. How could you not like the guy? Here he is, 6 of 18 for 129 yards and an interception on passes beyond 10 yards. 12 of 20 for 76 yards on all other throws. 20 passes inside of 10 yards. Now, they do that to hide the deficiencies of a quarterback. The Titans do it because they haven't had A.J. Brown. They don't have Derrick Henry, all these things.
Julio.
But now I think you're seeing that they understand who and what they are, clearly. And good time for it.
Right.
Right? Deontay Foreman yesterday?
Yeah.
Listen, man, that dude was seeking out physical moments.
Not just yesterday.
To unleash his physicality over the opponent. Like, he was seeking it out. And I think he had 71 yards after contact yesterday.
Yep.
You should have said to unleash his fury, Brent.
His unleash is, what did Greg Joseph say? I'm not here to
assert
my
his
dominance.
dominance. Yeah.
Well, Deontay Foreman was.
Yeah.
And the Titans were. That was the game plan. They didn't throw the ball much. Didn't need to. Deontay Foreman, that offense. It's amazing how good that offensive line can be at run blocking and not so good pass blocking. Although they did hold up really well yesterday, gave up 1 sack to the NFL sack leader, Miami Dolphins.
Yep.
34-3.
615-737-1045.
And with it, the AFC South Championship for the second year in a row. Mike Vrabel saying today that the team has discussed opening the practice window for Derrick Henry.
Uh-oh.
That will happen. Expect that to happen this week. It'll happen Wednesday.
You know what's going to happen?
And so that's the 21-day window where you either have to play him or shelve him or whatever. But then the decision is, do you play him on Sunday or do you wait until the playoffs? That's the question.
What's going to happen?
Let me ask you. If you finally get cleared to come play.
I'm asking you.
Oh, well, I'm playing.
You've been through some.
I'm playing.
Okay.
If you're medically cleared to play. So here's the thing.
Damn that, Mel. If I'm medically cleared to practice, I'm playing.
Well, that, yeah.
Yeah, please don't think. Listen, all athletes. Listen, everybody listen.
Is it dinner time on the range?
I've been ringing this bell all night long.
Yellowstone, spoiler.
Yellowstone, baby. But, dude, let me tell you this. No athletes getting on the practice court. Well, no phenomenal athlete like myself is getting out there and practicing.
You're still a pretty phenomenal athlete.
Yeah,
it's amazing how accurately you're able to sit in that chair without running into anything. Without banging your knee on
I was just going to say, as he cried before the show started because he hit his knee on the counter.
Time.
He was down so long, I forgot that he did it.
Yeah. Just
because I started talking to Babs, and then a few minutes later, you're still buckled over.
Yeah, Babs had to check on me. You just looking out the window over there, trying to figure out the blinds. Dude,
I'm immediately trying to diagnose him. I'm like, oh, that's that.
Came over and showed me your knee.
I'm like, that's your meniscus.
Something floating around.
Yeah. You probably need to get that cleaned out.
Slay his.
There's no way.
People in office situations do this, man. Yeah. You hurt yourself in office settings, right? Like you sit down, there's a pole that shouldn't be there holding up the table, I guess, and boom.
And Blaine would say, why do I lift my seat so high? But it's because my knees, I don't want to be sitting low because then my knees go up and then go down. The blood circulation don't get through my hips the right way.
This is tall people problems.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, all I'm saying is there's no way a guy is going to go practice full speed and take the risk of doing that and not play. It does not happen.
Do you full go on Sunday, or do you like 6, 7 carry him?
You give him a pitch count.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. But you're not getting out there and playing. You're not getting out there tipping. I guarantee he's not coming back if he's a tipper. The man just ran in the Colts game with a broken foot. So that's about as tipping as you're going to get. Tippy.
Tippy?
Yeah, I don't know. Don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from, Babs. This is sometimes just floats.
I went back.
You're thinking about the ballet.
Yeah, tip. There you go. Tip. Yeah.
I went back and looked at. I remember when it happened. I have a buddy who is an orthopedic surgeon who deals with just athletes. And so I immediately had reached out to him about the actual injury. And so I went back because I'm like, I can't remember exactly what he said about it, but I went back to see what he had said, and he talked about like that sensitive area with a Jones fracture, and the problem is the blood flow, and that's what takes one of the reasons why it takes so long to heal is because you don't have a lot of blood flow to that area. You have to be more careful compared to like other fractures, whatever. And then he said, for athletes that I've worked with, first of all, he was like super common in athletes. I've seen 4 today. So that was interesting to me. But he said about 6 to 8 weeks to heal. So that would be earliest projected time. And he said, you know, kind of with your normal standard person that's not doing nothing but rehabbing it and all of that, you would want to wait to like the 10 to 12 week mark. But with athletes, he said 6 to 8. So tomorrow is what? I think Mickey tweeted it, week 9 for Derrick Henry.
Sunday would be, is it 9?
10, yeah. So
okay, 10.
I think tomorrow is.
I thought Teresa Walker said 11, but.
No, Sunday would be 10.
Okay.
But, and then once you look playoff, then you're looking at like 12.
Yeah.
You know, if that, they have that bye and then, so I don't know.
What about this thought though? Everybody heals differently.
Everybody heals
so
differently.
So like 8 weeks
and
to Henry might be 12 weeks to somebody else or vice versa even. I don't know.
And he also said this, that the recovery depends on kind of what zone of the bone is broken. Like we're not privy enough to know exactly what's going on, right?
Listen.
We know that they put, screws and a plate in. We know what has come out information-wise through sources, but we don't know exactly, because basically he's saying that Jones break, if it's a centimeter back, that's it. Just like a tiny centimeter, you can play a lot sooner.
Yeah. Well, if Vrabel's talking about if Vrabel's quote was, the team has discussed opening the practice window. My sense in reading between the lines there is they're going to open that 21-day window on Wednesday.
Yes.
Right. How you feel.
So if he is, to your point, Slay, if he is cleared to practice, that means he's cleared to play.
Come on, man.
Now, on top of that, then you have a decision to make. Do you do it or not? But, I've been around these guys a long time, so have you. If the doctor clears a guy.
And what you got to realize,
they
being
typically
cleared
play the
to
guy.
play is different than cleared to have a workout. Like I was cleared with ACL 3 injuries period. I know this ain't ACL, but cleared 3 different times, like for 3 different stages. So maybe a different stage.
Like you're
he may
cleared
be in the
to
final
work
stage.
out,
There you
cleared
go.
to practice,
there you
full,
go. Right, there you
and
go.
then cleared to play
There
kind
you
of
go.
thing. Yeah.
I mean, because this Houston game is vitally important. People debate, do you play better off a bye or not bye or whatever? And
Well, Vrabel's teams seem to.
Yes, he's undefeated.
This is something. Yeah.
So, but where this team is injury-wise, if you have a chance to continue to get healthier,
You do it.
when everybody else has players that are dropping like flies or just taking all their clothes off and quitting, then you take advantage
Speaking
of that situation.
That had to do with an injury. I mean, that all started, the AB thing all started apparently, I mean, who knows, but reportedly because He had an injury. He didn't feel like he was good to go. The team doctors and everybody else said he was good to go.
Wow.
And so that supposedly is why they told him to go in the game. He's like, I'm not physically okay to go in the game yet. I'm not physically ready to play. And that's what started all of that.
Yeah.
So basically the team was like, all right, then get out of
The
here.
best part was the jumping jacks in the end zone and get the crowd hyped
man.
and then peace sign. But, like, doggone it, I forgot what I was
I
gonna
know.
say.
Sorry. I sidetracked us to the AB
But
conversation.
I wanted to talk about that too, though. But
Yeah,
dog
we
it.
can get into that. Anyway, so I think the only thing that would concern me with Derrick Henry as far as coming back in that Houston game is you have to know what you can get out of him once you hit the playoffs. Don't
Yeah,
you
and
think?
I
Because
just
you have
want
to
him to-
game plan it.
I would want him to feel comfortable when the
Yeah.
playoffs happen, not getting comfortable while the playoffs are happening.
Because what if you wait? This is my only thought, and this is coming from I never had ACL, broken bone. I never had a serious injury like that. And all I had was a dislocated broken toe or whatever from the Coke machine. So,
Pretty serious. Man.
That is
but
Them Cokes, boy.
man, they'll get you.
Tell
But this would be my concern on the Titans side is. What if you plan for him? And I know you've done it without him this entire time, but what if you plan for him? Your game plan has him. You expect 20 carries out of him come playoff time, and then he gets in and 3 carries later he's done. Then all of a sudden you're shifting.
Well, the beauty of what Deontay Foreman has produced is the ability to step right into that role,
Yeah.
And they're
without
very
changing
similar.
anything.
Yes, because they're similar style
Yeah,
backs.
that is the best thing about all of this. The Titans have not, and
It wouldn't change a game plan.
And listen, I'm give me the crow, put a little sauce on it, and I eat it. I was like, after about 3 or 4 weeks after Henry was gone, hey man, dude, when are y'all gonna change the game plan or something? No, we're gonna plug. Is what we're gonna do, and that's what they did, and it
Hey,
is.
300-yard games in his last 5. Spot Track, speaking of Antonio Brown, since you brought it up, that dude was 8 catches away from unlocking $333,000 bonus. He also needed 55 receiving yards to unlock another $333,333. He needed 1 receiving touchdown to unlock another $333,333 bonus. That was a costly outburst. That from Spot Track.
Yeah, $1 million
$1
strip.
million, yeah.
$1 million. 615-737-1045.
Make some money doing
Magic
that.
Mike
Definitely
3 for
somebody.
Antonio Brown. Ryan in Lebanon. Ryan, what's up, man?
Hey guys, happy Monday.
Happy Monday,
Hey,
happy
Ryan.
New Year. What's happening?
Hey man, my first thing, my heart goes out to Michael Pruitt. That injury yesterday just looked terrible. So my heart and prayers go out to him. I'm gonna say it like Derrick Henry said it last year. We ain't done. Hey, AFC South, that's great and all. We want an AFC championship in Nashville. We want a Super Bowl in Nashville. Let's get it, y'all. Tighten up, man. Let's go. Victory
man.
Monday.
There you go, Ryan.
Victory Monday.
You set it down. I feel like Ryan was in maybe a work situation where he couldn't get too jacked
he
up.
wanted to get, he wanted to get there.
He wanted to get there.
Yeah, he wanted to turn it up, and he ain't had no car, had no roof, but he had a little roof on.
Steven in the borough. Steven, what's up, man?
Oh, nothing much, man. What about them Titans, man? They put it on the Dolphins yesterday. But just wanted to say, I recognize Tannehill doesn't have MVP numbers, but with everything this team's gone through, the 2 constants has been him and Ben Jones. And while I know Tannehill is not an MVP, his name not being in the discussion seems to be kind of odd to me because this team has the number 1 spot going into Houston. And if it wasn't for Tannehill, I don't think we'd even be sniffing it. So it's just kind of one of those funny things that while he isn't putting up MVP numbers, what this team has achieved should have him relatively somewhat talked about at least. And I just want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, he's not going to be talked about for the MVP. But here's the beauty of this team. And this is to go back to your point earlier, Baz, when you went on your little mini rant earlier. This is a major story to me. There is no reason on paper this team should be the number 1 seed in the AFC with 1 week to go. There's no reason for them to be there except for the 88 dudes that have played for them.
Yep.
And it's taken everybody. It's taken everybody on the roster and then some.
Mm-hmm.
It's taken a running back that was on his couch and got signed, and now it's 300-yard games in the last 5.
Yeah, exactly right.
So Tannehill has, yes, if Ryan Tannehill would have gone down, I mean, we talked about in the offseason that the team, honestly, we had this conversation that the team could survive if Derrick Henry went down. They could not survive if Ryan Tannehill went down.
Yep.
It's funny how all that played out. But it's true.
I don't know if funny is the word.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Tannehill, I will say the
There's
reason
a range of definition for funny.
the range is true. You
It's
gotta have your
ironic how
starting
that all
quarterback.
worked out.
You got to have your starting quarterback. You have to. The team, the guy that you came in with, that's who you like. What the Philadelphia Eagles did, they call lightning in a bottle. That rarely happens. Like that guy come in to do that. But in this situation,
Don't discount Logan Woodside now.
I
That's
forgot.
my guy.
Yeah, I know that.
Boy, he took those 3 snaps so well
Ooh, man,
yesterday.
he
what?
did.
Did you see how he
There
went
you
down
go.
on that knee?
Got a
But-
little experience.
Yeah,
there we
hey,
go.
man, it's all about that. But the thing is, you got to realize if Ryan Tannehill, we may not be able to see this team get there, but one thing for sure, you won't be able to see this team get to the level they're supposed to is if this defense, and I'm going to keep on saying it, this defense is nasty. I mean, just
Preach it.
nasty. It is what it is. Like, Ben Jones, yeah, without question, but that defense,
I decided yesterday, that defense is so good that when you see a 10-yard run, you think it's like 80.
right.
You see a 10-yard run, you're like, how did that happen?
You're exactly right. And imagine this. Look at that 180, man. Look at that 180. So last year, I definitely think you have those same comments. And to the caller, I think that's spot on for last year. But each season is different. This season is totally different. I don't think they're there without this defense. And you talking about MVP, you have to get to the whole defense if you're going to put somebody in there.
Just to button up that, I think it was Ryan that called about the Tannehill MVP conversation. I agree that him and Ben Jones have kept this all
Without
together,
question.
but I also point to the turnovers that have cost them games as well. So I think that is a big reason why, or one of the big reasons why you don't look at Tannehill as an MVP kind of. I mean, because
Spot on.
not last week before. That's what we were talking about. You know.
Yep. And we asked for a game like this. Let this defense go win you the game. That's don't turn the ball over.
Yep.
So that's more
Protect
of
the
managing.
football.
There you go.
And I think Tannehill has struggled to do that. And I'm not saying it's all on Tannehill.
No,
I mean,
ain't no question
some
about
of it's on his receivers, some of it's on a patchwork offensive line, some of it's on, I think, Todd Downing play calling.
Right.
You know, like there's a bunch of different reasons. But just to kind of wrap up that conversation, that's what I point to as why Tannehill is not an MVP.
Titan roster moves. They have made some roster moves today. Davenport has those for you when we come back. 615-737-1045.
Referring a friend on FanDuel Sportsbook could be your ticket to Super Bowl 56. You know, the one that the Titans might be playing in. Just saying. That's right. When you refer a friend on FanDuel Sportsbook, you'll be entered for a chance to win an all-expense-paid trip to Super Bowl 56 for two. We will be there. 3HL will be there, by the way. Don't miss FanDuel's biggest Refer a Friend offer ever. All you have to do is share your exclusive referral link right from the Sportsbook app. Once your friend places any bet of $10 or more, you will both get $50 and you will be entered into the Super Bowl sweepstakes. If you or a friend has been thinking about joining FanDuel, now's the perfect time to give it a shot. My favorite part of FanDuel is that you get paid in as little as 2 hours when you win, and that it's easy. I have the app on my phone, easy to pull it up, easy to find my bet. If you're new to FanDuel, you can also sign up with promo code DAWN to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000 and make every moment more in the NBA season. That's promo code DAWN. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Download the app, refer a friend for your chance to win a trip to Super Bowl 56 for two. You do have to be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. Referred players must wager $10 plus within 28 28 days after signing up. Bonus issued as site credit bonus issued as site credit, non-withdrawable, expires after 7 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. No purchase necessary for the Super Bowl ticket promotion. Super Bowl promotion closes on 1/9/22. Gambling problem? Tennessee Red Line 1-800-889-9789. Okay, are you like me? And now that the new year is hit, you look at your garage or your house or your closet and you say, now is the time to organize it, get rid of the clutter, and make it beautiful. That's me. That was me last year. And so I called Artisan Custom Closets. I looked at my garage. I had Christmas decorations everywhere, bins on the floor. I had bikes and stuff just all over the garage. Cars couldn't park there. And Artisan Custom Closets came out and fixed my garage for me. So you can do the same. Say goodbye to clutter. You can get a free in-home consultation today from Artisan Custom Closets and give yourself that show-stopping closet that you've always wanted with shoe storage, or maybe that beautiful garage. Get the bins off the floor. Get your car back in your garage, especially when it's cold, right? You don't want it sitting outside. You want it to be warm when you hop into it. Get beautiful cabinets to store the rest of your garage items, and everything is organized and nice. I walk out of my door to leave now, and I smile because Artisan Custom Closets did such a phenomenal job on my garage. So check it out. Give them a call, 615-800-2199, 615-800-2199. That's Artisan Custom Closets at artisancustomclosets.com.
Tagovailoa under pressure. Trapped. Sack! Fourth straight game, Danico Autry. He's got 9 on the year.
9 sacks for Danico Autry. Like, the Titans have gone like 8 million, like, since Javon Curse or something.
And you know what?
Since they had a 10-sack guy, and they're about to have 2.
Yeah.
Harold Landry with his 12th.
And you know what's happening? Everybody's doing their job. So that's why you're seeing at different points in the season, another guy just starts to explode. You saw it with Big Jeff. Saw it with Landry earlier. Then it came back around with Danico. Now it's back around to Landry. Like, Bud, now that he's man, you never know, man. Everybody just continue to do your job. And you see, they don't care who get the credit. Them dudes running like wild, man.
They don't care who gets the credit.
Not on D, man. They different, man. This
You
is
hear
a different
it,
D.
too.
Yeah.
In Vrabel's post-game locker speeches. The one after that one was pretty darn good. But you hear it and you see the reaction from the players when he talks about everything's for the team.
Yep.
It's legit. It's real.
Those aren't just words. When you can get grown men to buy into that, like, it's one thing to get kids to buy into it because we all try as coaches to get them to buy into that. Like, it doesn't matter who scores. Just find the best shot, things like that. But, man, and during the break, you were talking about the D in general being the MVP.
Nasty.
Titans are 3-1 in their last 4. I went and ran the numbers.
Okay, here we go, man.
Defensively, over the last 4 games, the Titans have given up 200 total yards rushing. 200 rushing in 4 games. That's 50 per game. 50.
That's nuts.
Total of 2 touchdowns.
That's nuts.
Total of 2 touchdowns rushing, 3.1 yards per carry. It doesn't stop there. It's not just like, okay, shut down the run, but we give up yards in the air.
In a weather game, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Twice.
In terms of pass defense, teams have completed 60% of their passes. That is a very low number. 214 yards per game. 1 touchdown pass, 7 interceptions.
And those 7 interceptions are because of the pressure up front.
Yes.
Slade just shaking his head.
Yeah, because it's real.
So in the last 4 games, they've given up 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown.
Why isn't national media guy talking about this?
Amazing story, man.
I know
this is an amazing story.
If Dallas did this, we wouldn't be able to stop hearing about it.
You're not supposed to be able to plug and play in the NFL and keep going.
No.
They're 5-3 since Derrick Henry went down.
Because like Coach Mack always says, it's about, at some point, it comes down to your dudes. Who are your dudes? That's what it comes. It comes down to matchups and being able to abuse those matchups and expose those matchups. And, dog, how can you not get exposed by putting a third stringer that just came off the couch in?
We'll get to the transaction in just a second. Joseph in Smyrna. Joseph, what's up?
Hey, guys. Happy New Year to you.
Yes, sir.
Happy New Year.
Hey, big Bucks fan, man. And I just want to say, watching this Titans defense, man, reminds me of Monty Kempton's Tampa 2 defense, man. Big Jeff would kind of be the Warren Sapp, Simeon Rice. They're just those dudes, man. They remind me a lot. And once everybody gets back for the Titans, man, I'm telling you, watch out. Watch out. They scare me.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. 615-737-1045.
That was a fun defense.
And there was so many personalities. And honestly, on this team, even though nobody cares who gets the credit, there's a lot of personalities on that defense too.
The only way
a lot.
that the Miami Dolphins were going to score a touchdown in that football game is if you'd have put the Purdue-Tennessee refs in there.
Yeah.
And you would have thrown it deep and gotten a PI down around the 10-yard line.
Had to sprinkle it in.
And maybe – because that's the only way they were going to score was to get a PI and a deep ball. But
Yeah, you're right.
Tua can't throw a deep ball. So
That's true too.
Yeah.
you've got transactions.
Yes, because he was talking about getting people back, too. Activated from the COVID-19 list. Welcome back, Jayon Brown, linebacker. Welcome back, Julio Jones. At wide receiver, back activated from the COVID-19 list. Also, Kendall Lamb. As well, roster exemption granted there. We know Michael Pruitt was placed on IR after watching that terrible injury
Prayers
yesterday.
up, Pruitt.
Yep.
Man, most definitely.
Yes. Restored to the practice squad from the COVID-19 practice squad list, Breon Body Calhoun. And then moving now to the COVID list from the practice squad, at least the practice squad COVID list. There's so many lists to keep up with nowadays. But yeah, that's offensive lineman Paul Adams.
Hey, welcome back, Paul.
No, he's COVIDed.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, sorry.
Former
Sorry,
CPA
Paul.
offensive lineman Paul
Yeah,
Adams.
go lay down.
Former
Missouri
Missouri
Tiger.
offensive lineman Paul Adams.
I've worked a lot of Paul Adams games back in his college days, as a matter of fact.
Phenomenal
Lay down,
dude.
Paul.
Get better. Paul, if you're feeling symptoms. I don't know. I haven't talked to him.
Just lay
Hopefully
down.
not. And if he's not, we'll see him in 5 days.
So we'll.
Yeah.
They
changed
The
the
CDC
policy since
changed
we
their
got-
mind.
Yeah, since we've been back.
But then
changed their mind.
apparently they might go back and because it, pissed people off. That whole 5-day thing really pissed people off. So apparently, you might have to do another test or something. Who knows?
Okay.
What are we doing?
Good for him. I don't know.
What are we doing?
All right.
Anyway, so the news there: Jayon Brown, Julio Jones, Kendall Lamb, all activated off of the COVID-19 list.
It's so difficult to be able to sit back and relax and watch your team play week to week when a guy is out and then not call attention to him. Like, what is he doing here? Why do we got him? But you know what the funny thing is? I was talking to Mayor a little earlier about this. Why can't Julio be Robert Orr? If it was basketball, we wouldn't even care if he played the 82 games.
You think there'll be like a 3rd and 10 and he catches him back in the end zone?
And here we go, Jim.
And that's like Robert Ory hitting a late 3?
There you go. Would anybody be upset? Would all be forgiven? That's what happens with Robert Orr. He just wins chips.
615-737-1045. When we come back, the voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, joins us next. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
I know him. Who was it? All right. Joy is a freshly cleaned home, isn't it? Especially now, maybe all of your holiday people have left and you got dirty carpets. You're about to have dirty carpets after this snow, too. All the mud everywhere. It's okay. You just have to call Zero Res because they can give you insanely clean carpets. Maybe your home's ready for it. Don't forget, schedule your Zero Res cleaning. I don't know, maybe next week after all this snow melts. Also, people are more likely to get sick with colds and the flu and other ailments during the winter time. So maybe you also want your air ducts cleaned. Well, Zero Res can handle that too. I talk about the insanely clean carpets that they deliver. No one cleans like Zero Res. Well, that's because they clean with powered water. They don't clean with soap. So there's no residue. There's no harsh chemicals. You know, it's safe for your pets and your family and your little ones that are crawling all over the carpet. And Zero Res does that. Pure safe for your family and your pets. Here's the deal. Their January promotion is awesome. 3 rooms of carpet cleaned plus a free hallway I got him to lower it to $109. Are you kidding me? Get all in. 15% off of air duct cleaning. Restrictions may apply, but give them a call now. ZeroResNashville.com, 615-535-9376. Zero Res. You can spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean. Don't forget to ask about that air duct cleaning. I'm sure you've probably heard of FanDuel Sportsbook by now. I talk about it all the time. Well, they're making every moment more this season. First off, FanDuel Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, so you can place all of your bets on a trustworthy app that is easy to use, which is what I like. And then basketball fans, you can celebrate the NBA's 75th anniversary season on FanDuel Sportsbook too, because right now new customers can place their first bet risk-free. If you don't win, you get up to $1,000 back. And maybe you've been thinking about joining FanDuel and haven't done it yet. Now's the perfect time to give it a shot. It's so much fun. It's easy to use. My favorite part is that I have the app on my phone. I just go click it. It's easy to deposit money and it's easy to find your bet. Also, they accept Venmo now, so it's even easier. And then when you win, of course, you're going to get your winnings in as little as 2 hours. No better place to bet the NBA or the NFL than on FanDuel. And if you already have it, they're hooking all customers up with $50 when you refer a friend. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Sign up using promo code DAWN. Get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Make every moment more this NBA season and this NFL postseason. That's promo code DAWN. You got to be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit. Expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789.
All right, be honest. When you saw that tweet from the Titans about the transaction news, you got a little bit excited. and then disappointed. But hey, it's still good news because Julio Jones, Jayon Brown, and Kendall Lamb have all been activated from the reserve COVID-19 list. And remember, Coach Vrabel said it would be possibly midweek before you would hear any news about Derrick Henry. Michael Pruitt, on the other hand, he's actually having surgery today. In fact, Coach Vrabel mentioned during his press conference that he believes that the surgery was going on during practice or during whenever his press conference was happening. And when it comes to the Tennessee Vols, they lost to Bama earlier this week. They dropped 4 points. They are now, or 4 spots in the AP poll. They are now the number 18 team in the country. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your AFC South champion Tennessee Titans. And home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Well, tough day for Brian Flores and the Miami Dolphins. Their win streak is over. Good day for the Tennessee Titans. Your final score, Tennessee 34, Miami 3, as the two-time defending AFC South champions get it done again.
Titans turn the Dolphins into tuna fish, 34-3, the final score. Too soon?
Tuna a miracle?
Nah, it's good. You good.
Red Doherty, Don Davenport. Hey, Don.
Hi. Happy
There he is.
Victory Monday.
He's Ron Slay.
Hey, I'm in the building. Best believe I'm in the building. Better be ready. I'm in the building. Hang on the roof. Time for the show.
Well, Ron Slay had an in-the-moment parlay last night.
Yes, I did.
He went in. He kept texting me every time he bet on the Green Bay Packers. My phone was going. My wife's like, who in the hell is texting you all this? It's Slay every time he's got a bet on the Packers.
Ride with me.
Did you end up with like 5 bets on the Packers last time?
It ended up being 3, which is like 5.
Yeah.
Worked okay.
Titans with the big win. Obviously, we've spent a whole hour on that. We will continue to do that through Victory Monday, as we call it here on 104.5 The Zone. We welcome to the hotline, the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline, Mike Keith, the voice of the Titans, of the two-time defending AFC South champion Tennessee Titans. Mike Keith, what's up?
How are you?
Well, we're pretty good, man.
I'm pretty good.
I
feel pretty good right now. It's pretty good. I'm here at Nissan Stadium and getting ready to do TV with the head coach, and excited about that because I think he'll be excited to talk about his football team. I always hope he will be. Makes my job easier. And then at 6 o'clock, we'll do radio as well.
Ron Slay was talking about the Titans defense. And so during a break, I pulled the numbers, last 4 games. Titans are 3-1 in their last 4, obviously. Mike, they've given up 50 yards per game on the ground. 50. 3.1 yards per carry, 2 rushing touchdowns in 4 games. Through the air, they've given up a 60% completion percentage, which is exceptionally low in the NFL. 214 yards per game, 1 touchdown, 7 interceptions. This defense is playing on another level.
Well, they got healthy. You know, it's amazing how that happens. They got healthy during the bye. They got some guys back. They've got more fuel. They're able to play various people situationally, which not only keeps them fresh but plays to strengths. I think we saw at different points early in the year, the first 10, 11, 12 games. We saw these moments kind of pop up, and you thought this is who they can be. And I think now this is who they've become. It's very exciting.
Yeah, this is who they become, Mike. And I was just saying, like, you look at a team like the LA Rams, and you see all the big names and the guys that they seem to be able to get on the team and come together. But this team, the way this defense is playing, this right here, these guys are bred right here. You know, besides guys like Janoris Jenkins, everybody else is pretty much Titans homegrown. You know what I'm saying? Don't you need that when you have a defense that's coming alive like they are? You need those guys to try to deliver on their names. And I think Kevin Byard is doing it. Jeff Simmons is doing it. DeNico's coming in. Now you got Bud. Like, it's all starting to come together. How good is that for this defense?
It's fantastic because part of what you have, Ron, is you have several guys who are very capable pass rushers. And okay, you're going to double team Harold Landry, Danico Autry's going to get you.
Yeah.
And you're going to double team Bud Dupree, then Harold Landry's going to get you. And if you don't double team Jeffrey Simmons, he's going to ruin the play before it starts. And they've got some guys who are excellent blitzers as well. It's the multifaceted nature of the defense and the improved speed. And then you're able to bring in a guy like David Long, who's missed 6 games, and he plays, that third down linebacker position, and he plays a really good game and intercepts a pass. And, Crookshank battling the tight ends. And, maybe he gives up a catch here and there, but everything's a fight now. What I like so much about what this defense is doing is when you start at the 2-yard line against them, like the Dolphins did, when you start at the 7-yard line, it's like, well, you pick up a first down. Good for you. You pick up another first down. Good for you. Well, guess what? You picked up back-to-back first downs, and you feel really good. You're 73 yards away from the end zone. And if this defense continues to not allow big plays, you're going to have a hard time driving the ball down the field on them consistently. That's what the best defenses that I've seen in this league do, is they make everything hard. That even when you have success, you feel like it was hard.
And how often do you hear people talk about the development that Vrabel and his staff are doing with these guys? When you come to as far as plugging guys, 88 players playing, but you're able to take a third-string guy and plug. You don't change what you do. You just plug in and develop those guys. Like maybe guys like Golden Tate wasn't ready, so you got to continue developing. But the guys that are ready, they're plugged out there and expected to produce, and they do.
Well, and part of what you're seeing too, Ron, is you're seeing guys, like Foreman. Mm-hmm. So Foreman comes in right at the start of November, and he plays a little bit and rotates some against the Rams and rotates some and plays a little bit against the Saints and then against the Texans. And, he loses a fumble in the game at New England, but he has a pretty good game. Well, now he's been playing football with this team for 2 months.
Yeah.
So now he's used to being hit. Now he's used to how Monday's going to feel after a game. Now he's looking for someone coming up behind him to knock the ball out, and he's not going to allow it to happen. The only way you can really get good at football is playing football. And when you haven't been playing, it's hard. Well, now all of a sudden, they've got all these guys who've played a bunch of football, and then you're getting a bunch of guys who are coming back who are really good at football. Well, now what you have is depth. Oh, my goodness. You have depth. And you're getting ready to get more of it back on offense. You've had a bunch back on defense for the last month, and you see what that's produced.
Yeah, depth and a little luck when it comes to health and
right.
All of that kind of plays into a championship run. You talked about getting that back. Obviously, a big topic of conversation is Derrick Henry and him coming back. And so I think tomorrow is week 9 from his surgery. The medical experts will say it's a 6 to 8 week kind of recovery time. What do you expect, or what do you expect the Titans to do with Derrick Henry?
Well, I think, Mike gave as much of it as he's given during the whole process. And that is, he said that they were going to take a look at what they were going to do as far as opening the window. And let's make sure everybody knows what the window is.
Yes.
You come back from injured reserve, you can be designated to return, and you can practice for 3 weeks before they have to make a decision on you. So do they want to start that this week? If they do, Wednesday's the most logical day it happens. Do they decide, we'll start it next week and have the idea based on if they get a bye, he would have, like if they started this week and he doesn't play and then they get a bye, he would have had 3 weeks of practice to get ready for the divisional round.
Right.
Yeah.
So now if you're feeling good enough about it, and I think, what we've seen from them is we've seen them be very quiet. We've seen them be very patient. There haven't been any pronouncements about anything. So we know what we think we know, but we don't know a lot of specifics. And now they're going to say, okay, are you ready to go out and play football? And I've said this all along. I've said it on your show before. Until he starts playing football, everything else is just optimism, right? But he's got to go out and he's got to cut and he's got to do the things Derrick Henry does. And, that's got to be part of the deal. And then what you get into is how does he respond? What's the day after like? And then what's the day after that like? Are you sore? Is there a problem? Are you this? Are you that? These wins have given them time. And that's the beauty of this entire situation and the beauty of Deontay Foreman and Dontrell Hilliard and Jeremy McNichols. They have done the job that if you say, okay, he's not going to play this week, we're going to wait till the playoffs, I don't think anybody feels uncomfortable. I think they say, well, okay, let's be smart. And then if you could have him for 3 more games potentially, oh my.
How?
Oh my.
Yeah. Oh. Like I
know, right?
Yeah. How much of that process, obviously you've watched guys come back, you've been around this league for a long time. How much of that process do you have to see him get reps in a game? Because there's so much talk about, well, what about a series or two, coming up this weekend if he can? Like, how much of that process and his injury do you think is actual game speed, like reps?
I don't worry about that with him, Dawn, just because of sort of how he is. I think it comes down to a certain point. What do the doctors say? What do the trainers say? And then most importantly in this probably, what does Derrick say?
Yeah.
Does he want to go get some? Does he – I mean, he didn't take any in the preseason, and he did just fine.
That's a good point.
That was the whole thing is that, does he need it? I mean, Adrian Peterson never played in the preseason. He would just show up and go, but, he was practicing. So does he feel like, hey, I want to go out and get hit, and then if we win the ball game, then I have 2 weeks to the next game? I think a lot of that goes into it based on who Mike Vrabel is as a head coach, because having been a player, Dawn, I think he's going to talk to his guy and say, what are you thinking? And to me, if I know – and listen, I'm not in the building right now, okay? So I have not seen him work out. I haven't seen him at all since the surgery. So I'm not speaking out of school here. But I do think – the one thing that Mike is great about in these situations is he wants it to be collaborative. He wants everybody to feel good about what's going to happen. Will they make a suggestion? Sure they will. But will his opinion count in all of this? I would be stunned if it didn't. That's normally how it works with Mike.
Voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, with us every Monday at 4 o'clock. The Coaches Show coming up, the Mike Vrabel Show coming up tonight. Mike will be listening, man.
Well, thank you. Hopefully people will submit their questions via Twitter at Titans Radio. The head coach will be on with us, as will the voice of the Houston Texans, Mark Vandermeer, who brings a 4-11 team in that already has a victory over the Titans. He mentioned that like 19 times in our interview.
Right.
Who hasn't quit? I mean, that team hasn't quit.
Nope.
No, Culley's team's not going to quit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just – I think David Culley's a good coach, and if they are keeping him, they're doing a smart thing.
There he is, Mike Keith. Thank you,
Thanks,
Mike.
Vaught.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Vaught.
See you guys.
All right. Voice of the Titans, Mike Keith. There you go. Presented by Farm Bureau Health Plans, the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline, all of those things. When we come back, you'll hear from the head coach, Mike Vrabel. Also, Kyle Brandt, one national guy that loves the Titans. That's next, 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
How did Benny afford all these Christmas decorations? Where'd she get the money for this? Dear Benny the dog, thanks for choosing the Home Loan Expert for your cash out refi. You were able to get $52,000. Oh, my own dog got a better deal on her refinance than I did. I knew I should have gone with the Home Loan Expert.
Corona, but yeah, there you go.
I do like that. I told you the other day, that's my favorite commercial is the Corona commercial.
Yeah.
You're like, what? A Corona commercial is your favorite? No,
you
the beer.
threw me off, exactly.
The beer.
Y'all don't do like different style of peanut butter jellies though? Are y'all peanut butter jelly lovers?
No, just peanut butter. I don't do jelly.
Oh, you're missing out.
I like the Uncrustables. I used to eat those when I was
Like
the
a
morning
kid.
anchor at 3 a.m.
I like the peanut
Those-
butter. I like the
hey.
jelly. I just don't like them married. Why's everybody give me a look for that?
I
What
mean,
the heck
on,
do
like,
you
yeah.
eat the jelly
listen,
then?
Slade chose
on.
violence at the football game the other day where we're all sitting together. And we both get hot dogs, and he puts ketchup in his, and I put mustard on mine. And to clarify, if you saw the Twitter picture, I put the mustard on the bottom of the bun.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, you barely
Yeah,
have any
but
mustard
yeah.
there. No, it's underneath. That's the best way to get
It's
it
so
done.
it doesn't squirt out and
That's
go
right.
everywhere.
I
That's
like
right.
mine squirt
It's
out.
smart.
I want mine on my fingers.
Gross.
What? That's why you lick them.
Gross. You can't lick your fingers during a pandemic.
Okay.
At a football game.
No, you can lick yours, just nobody else can lick them. That's the problem.
Because you get all those germs on your fingers, then
Well, he
you
had already
lick them.
shotgunned the beer at that point.
Yeah,
I will say,
that'll kill it, right?
if you were
Alcohol
anywhere near
kill
me
it.
and Slay at that game, I apologize. I got way too mad.
And I
Oh
don't.
dear.
I got
don't.
way too mad.
I was heated, and I don't apologize. Mayor can apologize. I don't.
14 penalties to 5.
Man, dude, that
Look,
was
your
ridiculous.
your job as an official is to manage a game, not control it. 7
Like-
pass interferences to 1,
Hey, man,
and a blown call at the end.
let the game be bad on both sides. Officiate the game bad. Just the whole game. The whole game. Not one way. No, you can't do that, man. That ain't
Where
right.
were the official? What league were these?
ACC, a team that
ACC.
got suspended from what game was it?
Remember
Duke and Miami.
Duke.
Remember the Duke Miami
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
This
kickoff
same
return where they flipped the ball around all over the field.
Yep.
There were like
Yeah.
8 blown calls on one play, and they got
Corn
suspended.
Elder.
Yeah,
Corn Elder was
That's
a part
right.
of that game. Yeah.
yeah, those same guys.
Yeah. So
Let
that's
me
2
ask-
crews we done got. Yeah, first of all, that's me. I'm really heated. We done got.
Is that's what comes out when Slay's
Yeah, so yeah. Yeah. And I don't apologize for that. That's 2 crews we done got.
I was really mad.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, my little lovely Tennessee Vols. Were you
Babsy?
angry or bothered by some of Josh Heupel's decisions as a coach?
No,
in
No,
that
I was
game?
cool.
Neither one of you?
Nah, I really.
You didn't have an issue
Nope.
all game?
No.
None.
The game is over, Babs. In regulation.
Well, to be fair, too, we might have been light fried.
I wasn't no light. nothing light about me on
Hey,
that day.
Don, ask Slay what he did to my
Heavy
kid.
fried. I cheered for him when I saw him.
He came out of the hallway because they never met my son. So they come out.
We saw you at halftime.
He saw us at halftime.
In the
my
concourse.
wife and my son. Slay from about 30 feet away just starts screaming, Ollie!
Yeah.
Oh
My
dear.
boy.
Was he terrified?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Oh
how-
my
you know how I
gosh.
do 'em. Hey, that's what it is. Baby Babs.
My
terrified,
kids are the
Ollie
only kids
terrified.
in this crew that like Slay.
They did listen. when I scream like that, Mayor's kids run to me.
Well,
I'm a magnet.
The real reason why
Yeah,
Tennessee
but they're
lost.
older, Slay.
The real reason, I'm glad you brought that up, or I did, I guess. The real reason that Tennessee lost this football game, according to my kids,
This is probably factual.
they blame Buck Rising.
Yup.
Wait,
It is
what?
Yup. I'm gonna be real too, but
Tennessee's up 21-0 or 21-7 or whatever
Yep.
it is. 21-7.
and rolling.
And Buck Rising comes over to the section. I'm like, hey, there's Buck. And he gets Slay. And he goes, Slay, we're going on the field.
Yeah.
So Slay leaves, goes on the field. Purdue scores 16 consecutive points.
So did. It was all because of Buck. Buck should just left me alone. Although I did have a fun time with Buck. Buck knows everybody in the arena. That was fun. But I say, Babs, regulation, the game is about to be over. All they have to do, he called they were in the one high safety, and Tillman broke away from the cornerback. The cornerback grabbed him blatantly. Everybody in the stadium saw it, except the referees. So the play was over. That's why they ended up going overtime. And they had to kick a long field goal. But if they just
Which
called a
missed by
penalty,
one
Yeah,
yard.
like,
my
man,
guy
that
Adam
was-
Noose works for the Titans. They were standing, him and Nihill were standing on the back line of the end zone. So they had the field goal coming like right there.
yeah.
It was good the whole way, and then like the last 3 yards, it just dropped straight
out.
down. and missed by like 1 yard.
And see, Babs, that's why, another reason I'm not mad at what Hypo did or the way he called the game is because what you said coming out of the Kentucky game, that defense, how long can it hold up? Like that, Alontae Taylor was missing, and that guy that subbed in for him clearly got picked on.
Yeah.
He was picked on the entire time. So, I mean, man, you try to get the game over with. It's cool.
You're gonna see that in every game.
Babsy.
I love you guys.
No, Babs, don't do
That
it.
you
Babs,
will-
come on, Babs.
That's
it. Like, that's it right there. Don't you do this today. It's a new year.
I mean,
expect a new
luckily y'all had some time to sleep on that one a little bit.
Well,
But guess
that one
what?
took a minute. We didn't sleep that night.
No, we
Neither
didn't.
one of us.
Nope. And listen, so I finally heard what everybody's been talking about with this PA announcer. I ain't get to say it on this show, but I said it on J. Martin Ramon. Hey, man, dude, he got to get something together. He got to have a little come together moment with some other PA announcers to figure out how to do it, and they need to have a PA retreat.
Slay, it was a great punt by Purdue, okay?
He literally said that.
Like, that's amazing.
The PA
That's
guy
amazing.
literally, listen, y'all know me. I don't go in on people like this.
Y'all know me. I do go in on people like
yes,
this.
but we're both going in now.
You're right.
Because I'm sitting in the stands, and I'm like, I know the Purdue guy just kicked it 50 yards and it landed inside the 10. I don't need the PA guy in my own state telling me that was a great punt by Purdue.
Come on.
I'm like, really?
And where he was positioned, Purdue was all around him. So when I saw that, I was like, I see maybe why he acted like that. I wouldn't have did it, but
I don't want my PA guy to be on either side.
Yeah, exactly.
Not offer an opinion.
No.
Exactly.
I don't want your opinion.
Unless you're the Titans guy. But
that's
this is
different.
this is a
game.
bowl
No, I
game.
don't
This is
even
a
want-
different
Titans,
deal.
though.
I don't even want my Titans guy to be that
I do.
Okay.
I mean, for home games.
So if he would have said that when Brett Kern nailed it within the 3.
Yeah. Great punt by Brett Kern.
Boom.
But not a bowl game.
No, that's neutral. It's neutral.
You got to Ryan Tannehill that thing. Just robotically call that thing. 54-yard punt by Purdue.
Like that. Can't
Right?
be emotional. That's right.
Or, well,
What?
on top of it, also, I know Purdue fans traveled, but on top of it, still know your audience because a majority of the
75%
fans there.
of that building
I was just about to
Tennessee
say that.
fans.
Like,
That
it
was a
good how
home
quick.
game for the
Everybody
Vols.
kept looking up like, where is he?
Yeah.
Where is this guy? So, I mean,
All right, so we hit the tornado, we hit the blizzard, we hit what else did we hit? Tennessee, Purdue.
The bad call, yes. You guys
Slay
didn't want to hit
meeting,
on the questionable
Ollie.
play calling, but
I think you go for the win.
That's
Babs.
okay.
The defense
That's okay.
can't hold up. Alontae was getting torched, and wasn't he now?
Plus,
you
he
are
did
right
get in
on
the
that.
end zone, so I mean, there's that.
Well, I mean,
And let me say
actually,
this.
no.
Yeah, he did.
Babs, he did get in the end zone, Babs.
Listen, if you
No.
Don't.
listen,
I agree with you. I'm just
okay. I was-
poking the bear.
well, I was
If
I'm
your
just
knee-
poking.
We was
I
falling
know,
out over
but
that
for
one
those out there that
2022.
want it, if your knee doesn't hit the ground, then you're not down until you give yourself up.
So true.
He didn't give himself up. And for the crew talking about the Tennessee guy pulling him in the end zone, how many times have you seen a running back go into a pile and 2 offensive linemen come
That's what they do.
right behind him
Come on, man.
and push him 5 yards?
Or poor too.
Yeah, don't give me that crap.
They did
either.
it in the
Plus the
Georgia
whistle.
game.
Plus he blew the whistle after he scored. Anyway, so like those guys are bad and wrong all the way around. Now
Slay's throwing stuff at me.
She needs to get this
Jeez.
together.
all right, Mike Vrabel. What's he talking about? This is cut number 4.
Okay.
Cut number 4.
Cut 4.
I want to know what the official said about Chester Rogers blocking the back call because my man was side to side with that guy. What did he say?
So the first one, the blind side block, and I think that we understand it, pretty well. If you're going back towards your end zone or if you're going parallel to the line of scrimmage, that you have to not make forcible contact with your opponent. I didn't believe that Chester's personally, I didn't believe that was forcible contact. I thought that was a good hustle play. I don't think he hit him in the head or neck. I thought he tried to turn and get his body to the side and shield. The referee thought apparently that was forcible. So again, the key word there when you're looking at those blocks of why a certain block is blindside and why it's not, they're looking for forcible contact. So in his opinion, it was forcible.
And it was questionable.
That was a really good answer.
Really good.
By
It was.
Braves.
We'll also get into Vrabel talking about why the refs didn't call intentional grounding on Tua's pass when he threw it clearly in the dirt 10 yards in front of a receiver. By the way, Gesicki, I absolutely loved it when he got up after a 12-yard gain and signaled first down and, like, just stood there like a statue for a minute. And then I'm like, y'all did nothing else on that drive.
That was it.
Congratulations,
That's all
bro.
you
You
got.
got to the 35-yard line.
That's all
Awesome.
you got. You rolling.
You rock.
Got it going. Really got it going now.
Is that the one where I want to say it may have been Hooker came over and just grabbed the ball from him right
Yes.
after that? Yes.
We'll also hit on Kyle Brandt, who says that the Titans are good. He's the one national guy that says the Titans are good. We'll hit on that as we move through the show. Also, coming up next, Chris Lowe from ESPN.com. Oklahoma's got another player in the transfer portal. Also, today is 15 years since Nick Saban took over at Alabama. 8 SEC titles, 6 national championships later. Here we sit as he's trying to win number 7.
Leave.
Goat.
So we'll talk with Chris about that. Also, coming up, Bug Rising at 5:20, and more of your phone calls in the 5 o'clock hour. This is 3HL.
How did Benny afford all these Christmas decorations? Where'd she get the money for this? Dear Benny the dog, thanks for choosing the home loan expert for your cash out refi. You were able to get $52,000. Oh, my own dog got a better deal on her refinance than I did. I knew I should have gone with the home loan expert.
Atmosphere, because there is nothing like a game in Smashville. Preds put on a show. We talk about that all the time on this show. It rivals any live entertainment experience. It's fun, great night out. Check out the Preds home game schedule. Get tickets to matchups against opponents like the Penguins or I don't even want to say the name of this team. Detroit Red Wings. The St. Louis Blues. Go to NashvillePredators.com. See upcoming games. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. And we will see you there. Go Preds. All right. One of the best things you can do for the new year, get cash out of your home's equity. And with a super fast, no-cost refi from Loan Pronto, that's the way to go, right? Home values skyrocketing. Use that to your advantage. Get cash out. Call Loan Pronto now, and they can fast-track your home refi, get you a check for 50, 60, 70 grand, even more in some cases, especially around Middle Tennessee. If you call now, Loan Pronto can even pay your closing costs. I know because I did it. It's so easy. You walk away with a big check. You can use that check to pay off high-interest credit cards, start the new year off right, consolidate other loans, get rid of PMI charges, get your finances in great shape for 2022. And there's a lot of people that are getting cash out of their equity now to fix up their home. New kitchen, new bath, maybe you want a new closet, your home's value's up, and now is the time to utilize it. Loan Pronto's refis can close in 2 weeks. The process is so easy. Call them now. Put that equity in your home to work towards financial freedom. You do it now, you could even skip your next 2 house payments. 615-499-5780 is the number. Loan Pronto was started by a guy who said that the whole process needs to be easier, and he's made that happen. LoanPronto.com, 615-499-5780. Give him a call now. LoanPronto.com, equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval. Not all loans apply.
Three Channel 104.5, The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. Let's talk a little college football.
Oh, yeah.
Our guy Chris Lowe about to check in. Chris Lowe from ESPN.com, national college football writer. Chris, 15 years ago today, the world ended in the SEC, except for one program.
Except for everywhere but Tuscaloosa, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess everybody's gotten some shrapnel, but it's hard to imagine. And you put it, like your tweet was great. The 14 years prior to Nick Saban, 1 SEC title. 15 years since, 8 SEC titles, 6 national championships, and here we sit as he tries to win number 7. Just, unbelievable. I mean, crazy.
I was talking to some people at ESPN earlier today, Brent, and I know I'm dating myself here, but in my lifetime, I think it's certainly if they win Monday, I think it's the greatest college sports dynasty of my lifetime. And I'm old enough to remember John Wood and UCLA. In fact, I remember watching in 1974 when NC State and David Thompson took Bill Walton and the Bruins down. And I remember my dad saying, I don't know if there'll ever be a dynasty like that in college sports. I think Saban and Alabama have a chance to surpass them when you look at what they've done. And they've done it during a time when the rest of the SEC has been great. I mean, you look at if Georgia beats Bama, that's 5 different SEC teams that would have won a title in the last, 15 years? 16 years, if you go back to Florida's national title in 2008. So it's not like they've just been the one dominant force in the SEC. Auburn's won a championship. Florida's won a couple. LSU's won one. So other teams have been really good, and yet they've just continued to separate themselves from everybody else. And, the other thing, look at how many changes he's had on his coaching staff over the last decade. I mean, they come and they go. Offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, strength coaches, and no matter who he gets in there, they just continue to sort of plug along and win at that same clip. So clearly he's the guy. He's the engine. And, I think he's 70 going on about 42.
Yeah, and, it's amazing to think just back, like a month to 6 weeks ago, and this team struggling to beat LSU. This team struggling through two overtimes to beat Auburn. And here they sit again. This time, again, as an underdog to Georgia. So, Nick Saban will throw out that rat poison thing, but I'm currently going on the reverse rat poison because I think the narrative this week will be don't bet against Saban. You learned your lesson. Don't do it. Alabama's going to win this game. And so even though Georgia's the favorite, I think it's a reverse rat poison thing going here.
Yeah, well, in Georgia, if you're sitting at the blackjack table right now and you're playing the odds are that no team, not just Alabama, is going to be able to beat a team as talented as Georgia twice in a month, right? The odds against that are pretty long. But then you say, well, wait a minute, the guy coaching the other team just happens to be Nick Saban, and so all odds go out the window. Bama played its best game in Atlanta against Georgia. They played pretty well against Cincinnati, but they didn't just dominate that football game. Georgia will be ready to play. I think Georgia will certainly do some things differently. They'll come at them from some different ways. I think you'll see them try to pressure Bryce Young differently than they did in that first game. But still, these stages, these kind of games, he's got over a week to prepare. I've seen this movie enough to know that I'm sure not going to bet against Nick Saban.
I was about to say, CeeLo, you almost confused me, man. I was going to say, don't get on here and start making no sense, man. That ain't what I want you to do. I was almost ready to flip and say Georgia will get it done, man. But I did learn my lesson the first time, man. And I just don't think it can be done like that, especially on this stage. I think it's more likely to happen in the regular season like Jimbo got him than on this stage when he got time to prepare.
Yeah, and that's why it's the way I say when you got this much time. And I'm trying to think back to all the games they played in championship formats, and this might be as talented a team, certainly the best defense they played against. But as soon as I say that, I think about that LSU defense in 2011. That defense was loaded, man. Yeah. I mean, they had guys going to the pros after Gills in that game. But now remember, LSU on offense was terrible.
Was that 9-6 game?
Well, and then they played again in the Superdome.
Yeah.
For the championship, right. And that game was like 9-0 forever. And and both teams were just loaded on defense. The game's changed so much since then, though, the way the game is played. But I think Georgia, certainly in their front seven, are as good as anybody Alabama has faced in the championship game, in a championship format. They don't have Clemson carved them apart that year when Trevor Lawrence was slinging it down the field. Now Stetson Bennett ain't Trevor Lawrence, but going back to what Slay said, man, they're just so good on these stages with Saban getting his team ready to play. I think the fact that they've both seen each other, they both know each other. Kirby knows Nick, Nick knows Kirby. Their defenses are the same type of deal. I think it gets down to this. Can Georgia find a way to pressure Bryce Young and get him out of his rhythm? Because they couldn't the last time, which means Bama's going to have to play really well up front again. I think the second thing is if this game gets into the third quarter, late in the third quarter, and it's a close game and it can go either way, at that point, does it start to creep into Georgia's mind, Kirby Smart's mind, the rest of that Georgia staff's mind? Okay, here we go again. Here we go again. We've been down this road a bunch of times, and Saban and Alabama finds a way to get it done. Does it become a mental type thing? And Slade, you played at a high level. When you lose over and over again, and you're good. Yep. I mean, I go back to those Florida Tennessee games in the 90s, football, when Tennessee was stacked but just could not get over the hump with Florida. Is it going to be the same way with Georgia and Alabama?
Georgia's winning this football game. I'm telling you right now.
What?
I'm telling you right now.
I'm telling you, Kirby outthinks himself and coaches way different than he normally coaches when he's playing Nick Saban. It's almost like
not this time, Babs.
It's almost like he's got the yips against Saban.
Uh-oh. I tell you what, Babs. I'll say this, and I'm not ready to make a prediction. I'm leaving Friday to go to Indianapolis, so we'll talk maybe at some point later this week. If Kirby does lose this game, and I don't want to just say Kirby. If Georgia loses this game, it's going to be a long off season.
It will be. That's for sure. Hey, real quick on the way out.
Long, rocky off season. And think about how much the script flips. You got a Georgia team that was number one the entire season. You're talking about a generational defense. You're talking about a team that was clearly the cream of the crop, Georgia. And then you go from that to they lost twice to Alabama in a month, and you're going to lose a lot of that defense. Now, they're still going to be good. Georgia's going to be really good next year.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of that defense is going to go pro. Think how quickly the narrative changes from what it was, say, a month and a half ago to what it'll be like this offseason if Georgia can't get it done next Monday in Indy.
We got like 20 seconds left, Chris, on the way out. Where do you think Caleb Williams, Oklahoma quarterback who hit the transfer portal today, ends up?
USC, Georgia, Oklahoma. Top three.
Yeah, I thought you might throw Lane Kiffin in
Ole
there,
Miss?
Chris.
No Ole Miss in there?
Well, I wouldn't throw them out of completely out of the equation, but I just think, USC with Lincoln being there and Georgia's going to need a quarterback. And I wouldn't rule out Oklahoma either because I think Jeff Lebby's a terrific quarterback coach and OC.
All right, thank you, Chris. Appreciate it, man.
All right, CeeLo.
All right, see you guys.
Happy New Year, big guy.
Happy New Year.
At CeeLo, ESPN.
Happy New Year to you guys.
Why do I keep putting people on? Anyway. I haven't been here in a week. I forget how to work the phone. So that's my
Ride
problem,
the bike,
not yours.
man.
5 o'clock hour coming up. We're going to hit some.
Roof.
So a different energy level next.
Yeah,
on
we're going up.
104.5 The Zone.
Uh-oh. What?
Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle. It's the new year. It's time for a new you. It's time for a new automobile. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. They can help you out. Car, truck, SUV, or Jeep, new or pre-owned, they'll be able to help you. Maybe you need a Sprinter. You need to haul all those kids around. I don't know. Maybe you got really big friends that are really kids in nature. You can haul them around too. Maybe you need your own personal party bus. They can get you done. You don't even have to talk to the mayor. You just need to talk to Ken Gupton. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Go take a test drive. Ask your questions. They will help make the numbers work. It'll be that easy, and you're going to enjoy every bit of their process, which includes no pressure at all. They are not going to put any pressure on you because they simply want you in the vehicle that's right for you. That's it. That's the only goal, and that should be the goal, and that is the goal. So go see my friends at 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee, about 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Exit 35 when you go 24 west toward Clarksville. Exit 35 straight shot, 3450 Tom Austin Highway. Check them out online, GuptonMotors.com.
Good evening. I am Joe Hunk, and the Titans have activated some players. Just not the one that I know that a lot of Titans fans are paying attention to. Just a little while ago, the Titans activated wide receiver Julio Jones, linebacker Jayon Brown, and offensive lineman Kendall Lamb from the COVID-19 reserve list. Mike Vrabel earlier today said that they will reevaluate Derrick Henry's status coming up in the middle of the week. Michael Pruitt had surgery today on that injured ankle, which if you were at the stadium and saw it, it went the direction it's not supposed to. And the Tennessee Vols basketball team slipped 4 spots from 14 to 18 after losing to the Crimson Tide last week. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to go visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your AFC South champion, Tennessee Titans, and 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Well, tough day for Brian Flores and the Miami Dolphins. Their win streak is over. Good day for the Tennessee Titans. Your final score, Tennessee 34, Miami 3, as the two-time defending AFC South champions get it done again.
Oh, yeah. Titans with a blowout win. They've won 3 out of the last 4. And with the Cincinnati win over Kansas City. Did they show that game in the stadium? The end of that game?
No, they were showing highlights. And and there were fans that were keeping up with it on their phone.
Because Cincinnati had first and goal at the 1-yard line. They ended up with 4th and goal. They went for it. Instead of kicking a field goal with 50 seconds left to take a lead in a tie game, they went for it on 4th down. Because they didn't want to give Patrick Mahomes. That is the most respect given to a quarterback I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, we ain't giving you the ball back.
Not with 50 seconds. We don't believe our 3-point. We don't believe that we can stop you from scoring a touchdown in 50 seconds.
Yeah.
That's what that meant. So they throw the ball in the end zone incomplete. There's 2 penalties. So they redo the down. They throw the ball in the end zone. There's a penalty on Kansas City. So it's 1st and goal at the 1. Joe Burrow gets hurt on the play. Has to go to the sideline. So backup man, the Bengals, Logan Woodside, comes in and takes a knee, then spikes the ball. Then they kick the field goal. Then they win. That was an unbelievable ending to a game.
It was real.
And technically, the Titans did not win the AFC South by beating Miami because Indianapolis technically lost before the Titans won. So there is that. So if you want to put that on the Colts, you can. If you're more in line to want to take pleasure in the fact that your team won the AFC South because they won, you can do that too. Either way. They're AFC South champions for the first time 2 years in a row ever. They formed that division in 2002. The Titans have never won back-to-back AFC South titles. 615-737-1045. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport. Hey, Don.
Hi, happy Victory Monday, everybody.
So Dawn was in a really good mood when she got here. As we have gone through the show during breaks, she has become more and more inflamed by her own words.
She's transforming.
And I said I was going to kind of step back and scale back and calm down for 2022. I wasn't going to get fired up over stuff.
And sometimes I'm the guy over the charcoal grill that still has the lighter fluid that just likes to squirt another squirt just to make the flame bigger.
You just poured the whole damn thing on. Don't even talk about
That's usually
like
me and Babs because I like it when Babs gets fired up like this. But in this case, I really said nothing. Like you've done it to yourself.
I totally did it to myself. I did it to myself.
Yep, it happened like it sometimes.
And it's just about life stuff, And there he is. He's Ron Slaves. We're in Tennessee basketball shirt.
What up? Hey, I'm in the build. Best believe I'm in the build. Better be ready. I'm in the building. I ain't got no rules. Time for the show. Best believe.
Speaking of Tennessee basketball, Kennedy Chandler and John Fulkerson will be on the floor when Tennessee plays Ole Miss on Wednesday. They missed the Alabama game.
And they still almost won.
Roll Tide got the win.
Yeah, they do.
Big three at the end.
I'm also fired up about the national media's lack of any kind of mention of the freaking number 1 seed in the AFC.
So true.
Yeah, and usually you don't really care about that.
I don't ever care about it, but I think it's
Bunk.
It's bunk, Slay.
Right.
That's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's lazy, and I think you're not doing your job if you ignore them, and I'm not a homer, and it's bunk.
This is very true, Babs.
Well, what's weird about it to me, and I get it, because I think you're coming at this from someone who has worked in the news world for your entire career.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, who are you for? I'm for the story. I'm for the biggest story. Well, how can you look at the NFL football season and not put some respect on what the Titans have done, given everything that's gone on with them this year, injury-wise? It is a huge story.
Huge.
It just don't make no sense, man.
It don't make no sense.
It don't make no sense.
I will say, Good Morning Football and Kyle Brandt, they've always given the Titans love.
Okay.
They've done a good job. They do their research. They've done a good job of giving Titans their due, I think.
Call the right names.
Yes. They pronounce Foreman's name right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Deontay Foreman was looking for you yesterday. If you were wearing a Miami Dolphin jersey, he was looking for you.
Run hard.
Seeking
really hard
contact.
Tell me. I mean, he was putting it on the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Flipper was rolling over in his grave. Thinking about that effort the Dolphins
flipping
put out
over.
there.
He was flipping over and over, wasn't he?
Who was the Dolphin that was it's the Dolphin. That was
that was missing in Ace?
In Ace Ventura.
Ace, yeah, so was.
What's the name of the Dolphin?
Snowflake. Snowflake, so was.
Snowflake.
How would you remember that? You always remember
That's funny with the use of snowflake generation and all of that nowadays.
Oh, I thought you were going to go weather, that we had snow last night.
Oh, that too. I forgot about that. Right.
No, you go right back down your path.
Dude, I'm like on fire. Hey, can we talk about the national media a little bit? Like, can we whine about? I just want to whine a little bit about. I also want to show that. Can we play? You know what? I'm just taking over. I'm not asking anymore.
We can do anything you want to do, Bass.
I don't know what. I'm trying to ask. I'm like tiptoeing. I'm like, this isn't my show. You know what? I'm done. Hunk, I need you to play from Good Morning Football this morning. Play Kyle Brandt and what he said about the Titans.
I'm not surprised that they're alive and that they survived the Derrick Henry thing. But the 1 seed? It's awesome. And you say it again, they are the one in the AFC. Not all this Joe Burrow and Mahomes and Josh Allen. The Titans. It is so awesome. And I just think, like, you know, the Warriors, when they lose Steph Curry, they don't go and get the number 1 in the West. They can't just keep playing. If Curb Your Enthusiasm loses Larry, they're screwed as a show. The Titans lost Derrick Henry. He hasn't played a game since Halloween. The next week, the Titans beat the Rams. Then they beat the Saints. Like, they didn't even give a damn. And I actually feel like it's really become part of their identity that they're these hard-ass guys who are like, I don't care if we lost Derrick Henry. Good. Let's do it without Derrick Henry. The fact that we're sitting here 100%. In January and the Titans without Derrick Henry are the number 1, not the 2, and it's the last team in the world that you want to get a bye because that's another week for him to come back. Peter talked about the Packers and all the guys they might get back with their bye. Well, the Titans on the other side, like they're getting back the franchise with another week. And you hear maybe he'll be out there this week. Imagine a bonus week and then unleash him in the divisional round. It's just awesome. And I do think they're the sleeping giant because they still don't have sizzle. No one's saying, ooh, the Titans are so fun and sexy. All they are is the number 1 in the AFC. I beat that.
I mean,
all they are, and nobody's talking about it. And I get the non-sexy thing because I've always been like the non-sexy girl, right? Oh, you're a female who does sports, but I'm not. You know, I got no style. I got no dance moves. I got so I get that.
I got
but
nothing.
Like. They just consistently are solid and calm and do their job, and nobody wants to talk about them.
Yeah, the Titans are Elizabeth Moss. That's what the Titans are.
Who's that?
She was in Mad Men. She was in the Handmaid's Tale thing. Like, phenomenal actress. But you're going to be like, who's that? Until Slay pulls it up.
That's what I just said.
You know her.
Yep, you know her. I'm telling you.
So everybody knows her.
The Titans are Elizabeth.
She's solid.
Listen, I told you earlier the Titans were Mona Lisa. Remember?
Yeah.
Like, not attractive at all.
You did say that.
But everybody in the world respects it and understands what they're getting. Like, the best painting in the world.
But nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
Now I'm
Everybody
Nobody's
talks about
talking-
Mona Lisa.
So I do want to point this out, by the way.
Sites are Mona Lisa.
They're
Or
the Mona
Elizabeth
Lisa.
Moss. If you want to
More
today it
Elizabeth
up,
Moss.
they're Elizabeth Moss.
I like that. I
Okay.
just Googled it.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Do you know what also
Not
stood out, though?
Elizabeth Taylor. They haven't been married 17 times.
That was a 4.5 minute segment on Good Morning Football. They didn't mention the defense once until the last 20 seconds of that 4.5 minute segment. And that is crazy to me too, but that plays into the not sexy. Like, defense isn't sexy nowadays, but oh my gosh, is that defense good?
Yeah.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. Buck Rising's coming up next, but Tony the Stud has been very, very patient.
Okay.
So we'll put Tony the Stud on when we come back. Then we'll talk with Buck Rising.
Tony.
Has done it again. And we'll see what Buck had to say. Buck is the master of the sideline.
Yes.
He's always there for all the media availability.
Yes, he is.
He was there when Taylor Lewan cried.
That ain't funny.
He was there when A.J. Brown said, yeah, Ryan Tannehill came to the huddle and said, hey, man, let's put it on him.
That was real.
We'll be right back. 3HL 1045 The Zone. Start the new year with something smooth, mellow, and with no additives. We've already advised Mr. Babs, as she calls him, to go ahead and pour himself a nice stiff drink for when his wife gets home. Maybe you need to do the same thing. Daddy Rack Tennessee Straight Whiskey can hook you up the right way. Daddy Rack whiskey is perfect over ice or to make your favorite cocktail. You can make a great old-fashioned with Daddy Rack. Or you can simply add Coke, Sprite, ginger ale, whatever you do in terms of mixing. Maybe you just want it straight up with oxygen. You can do it as you're toasting the New Year's resolutions and celebrating the end of that 2021 year. Make sure you raise your glass with Daddy Rack Tennessee Straight Whiskey. Daddy Rack Tennessee Straight Whiskey, made right here in Middle Tennessee. If you support local products, support Daddy Rack Tennessee Straight Whiskey because they are made in Columbia. And you can check them out. DaddyRack.com is the website. The brand story is there. It's really cool. Check it out. DaddyRack.com. Daddy Rack, Tennessee Straight Whiskey, and every man's whiskey. Add it to your bar. Ask for it at your favorite bottle shop and try some today. That's Daddy Rack, Tennessee Straight Whiskey.
Play fake, Tagovailoa loses the ball. It's rolling free. The Titans are trying to get on it. Everybody's trying to get on it inside the 15. It's Titan ball! Tagovailoa had it slip out of his hand. And the Titans go get it with Elijah Molden.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. You want to know the reason why the Titans are a national story?
Are not a national story?
Most wins over teams currently over 500.
Yeah.
Colts, Packers, each with 5. Chiefs and Buccaneers, each with 6. The Titans have 7, most in the NFL. John Robinson, while we're here with stats real quick, John Robinson, 6 years as general manager, no losing seasons, playoffs in 4 out of 6, 2 division titles. The 6 year prior to John Robinson, no playoffs, 4 head coaches in the 6 years previous. 615-737-1045. We'll get to Buck Rising in just a second. Tony the Stud on 3HL. Tony, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, thank you.
What up, Tony?
Hey, Ron. How are you? Don, good to talk to you guys. I appreciate you taking my call today. I just wanted to kind of talk about the Titans real quick. First off, I wanted to say one thing about Antonio Brown. What a loser. My goodness. Just does any organization care about really getting you your stats anyways when the Bucs are really trying to win games to get a better spot in the playoffs? I mean, and they were losing to New Orleans during a good portion of that game. So
the Jets, yeah.
I don't understand. He's just such a loser. All right, anyways.
Well, real quick on that one, he's got problems.
Yeah.
So I
like deeper.
Yeah, I hesitate to go, personal on him because you don't know what's going on. Clearly, he's not right. So he needs to get help.
I'll take that to heart, and I'll keep my mouth quiet on it until we figure that out. But if he doesn't have it, if it's just strictly he wants the money and the stats, and if that comes out, that's a problem. Man, the Titans. You remember earlier in the season we were talking about what the NFL had put the Titans at. I think it was 9-8, right? I think that's what it was. It was over under 9 wins or 9.5 wins or something like that.
I think it was. Yeah, I think 9.5. Yeah.
I mean, with all the injuries, Ron, I'm sure that you've played ball before. When you lose a guy, it's really hard to replace that same guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you have to have some really good coaching, and which is why I think Mike Vrabel is the coach of the year. The Titans easily could have been. I'm thinking that they win next week. They're going to be 12-5. I think. Did anybody see the Titans winning 12 games healthy? Is my real question. I don't think they did. They could have easily went 5-12 this year, guys, with the injuries that they have. And here's what's really dangerous about the Titans. I love when people don't talk about them. That seems to be when they thrive and do their best. And what's really dangerous about it is now Julio is going to be back on the other side of AJ after this COVID going into Week 17. You get the first seed. Derrick Henry comes back. This defense is the best in the league right now. This is a very dangerous team right now. And I'm telling you, if we get a week of rest, nobody wants to see the Titans, whether the national media is talking about it or not. Love y'all.
Thank you, Tony. 615-737-1045. Always the number at 3HL 1045. Buck Rising joins us now on 3HL. Buck, what's up? How are you?
Hello, friends.
The Buck.
Let's start with Julio Jones. Tony was talking about Julio. Is playoff Julio going to be different than regular season Julio?
No, probably not. But I think that, if there's something that he can still give you, it just has to be functional. And the offense has shown that even if it's just a functional version of whatever Julio Jones is right now, that's enough to free things up for other players to make plays around the field, all over the field. So I'm not I'm not going to – I think people just need to reset their expectations with Julio at this point because – that seems to be the most rational approach. And then whatever you get outside of that, anything more that you get, then you exceed your expectations, and then you can feel much better about the Julio Jones experience.
At Buck Rising on Twitter, I heard you talking about this. I loved it on your show today. You were talking about how I guess you were with A.J. Brown in the tunnel, and he was talking about Ryan Tannehill, who I always call as a robot. Robot Ryan Tannehill. Everybody loves their favorite robot. I get it. But in this case, AJ said he went in the huddle in the second half, said, let's put it on him. I love that.
You know what? Well, I do too, especially because I'm dying to know what he said in the huddle. AJ wouldn't tell us what exactly he said. in the huddle. But, listen, Tannehill, I think the most frustrating thing for me about Ryan Tannehill is the fact that I know he's so good unless he's in front of us. It's a quote. He's very, very – and listen, Miami media took that dude for a ride for 7 years. I don't blame him for being this intentionally uninteresting the way that he is. But, he's shown moments that he has this tremendous personality, and he's got a great sense of humor, I hear, but we don't necessarily get to see it a whole lot. And, so I think for, to act like a pro throughout the course of the week and then in the last drive to want to stick it to him and twist the knife a little bit, I appreciate that. That is the kind of sadisticness that I respect.
What do you think about this group? Because, a lot of people make, get fed up with the lack of national attention, all those things. And Dawn typically doesn't, but she is now. Because I agree with her from a news standpoint. Like, if you're looking for some of the better stories that are out there, it's hard to find a better story than this Tennessee Titans group, having gone through the situation that they've gone through, the many injuries, the 88 players, all of those things. And here they sit 1 week away from the number 1 seed in the AFC. I think it's a tremendous story. You've been around that locker room all season long. What is it about that culture?
That's a really good question because it really had an emotional effect on players yesterday.
Yeah.
Because this has been hugely difficult. And, the best sample size, because you said locker room, and it made me upset a little bit because I haven't been able to be physically in a locker room in 2 years in it. And these guys so much less than you used to. I don't have a sense for how the last 2 rookie classes are, or the guys who were brought in free agency, other than the super sanitized, no pun intended, media setting that we have. And frankly, we're one of the only media corps that hasn't been sent back virtually in the NFL right now. So people are going back to Zoom and further distancing the ability to know the players between media. So I think that what Mike Vrabel has done, they clearly respect the way that he will tell them, and he's been correct about this each and every time. Do not worry about the doubt that people are putting in front of you. If you trust us, we will put you in a position to succeed. And to his credit, even every game but Arizona, where they just got the doors blown off them against Arizona. I don't think there's any way to kind of diagnose that other than week 1 weirdness. And they got their asses kicked. But every other game outside of that, it's clear and obvious that they have had a plan, a path to victory. And when they have these, disastrous moments as far as not 1 or 2 turnovers, but 3 or 4 or even 5 in the case of the last Houston Texans game, there has been a plan to win those games. And you can see that materialize until the turnovers kind of blow that up. So they trust him. They just trust him that he has their best interests in mind, and that he and the coaching staff are going to make sure that they have the best ability to succeed as long as they follow the plan that's put in place. And it's worked swimmingly. He's the second most by win percentage. He's the second most successful coach in the history of the franchise. And he's done that in a sample size that's 48 games bigger than my guy Lou Remkes, I think is how I pronounce his name, from 1960 to 1961. He only lasted 20 games in the head coaching gig. He's the first coach in the history of the franchise. Mike has done it by, you talk about cliches and buying in. They just believe in him and what he's going to be able to help them do to put them in the best position to succeed. And I will remind everybody listening that that's the exact job that he was chosen for when he was hired to replace Mike Mularkey. And it looked like this thing was going to kind of stall out around 9-7 every year. And John Robinson felt that they could do more. This is the more.
He was fired coming off a playoff run, which is he was hired coming off a playoff run, which is even more amazing with regard to that deal. At Buck Rising on Twitter, Buck Rising, you can hear him 10-1 on 104.5 The Zone weekdays. Buck, turning toward the Derrick Henry situation, Mike Vrabel obviously saying today that the team has discussed opening the practice window for Derrick Henry. They'll make a decision midweek is the anticipation there. And in terms of anticipation, our anticipation has to be that practice window will be made open for Derrick Henry this week, don't you think?
All signs point in that direction, whether it's been the way that, he's been out of the boot for a couple of weeks now, and he's been around the facility pretty consistently. I know the Titans media, like in-house media, has done some stuff with him, but it's never been, about the injury. It's been about, what he's doing for people in the community and things of that nature, which is, of course, lovely. But at this point, I don't Titans fans want to hear him talk about the foot. I think that with, what you saw from Clay Travis this weekend and from Diana Rossini, he has been able to continue to make progress on that. Sounds like he's been doing a lot more as far as the conditioning element of this rehab process is concerned, and that if they have the opportunity to give him a full week of work and make a decision on him, that decision would make him available in the final week of the regular season.
You know what's interesting about that, too, with obviously the emergence of Deontay Foreman, who I think is still looking for Dolphins players. Like he's out at Green Hills Mall right now looking for Dolphins players. Like if you're wearing Dolphins gear and you're out and about in Nashville, look the hell out for Deontay Foreman because he's going to plant you. I think that's where you could potentially take that slow roll approach with Derrick Henry because you're really not changing anything. Obviously, the skill set is maybe Hall of Fame elite with one guy. But Deontay Foreman has proven that he can get the job done over the course of the last 4 or 5 weeks. And so maybe in terms of game planning, you don't really have to change anything. So you can literally see if Derrick's got something or knock the rust off, whatever you want to say about Sunday.
Yeah, well, and because, I know Slay has talked about this before with the Jones fracture surgery, and I don't know. None of us are medical professionals, obviously. We can only speak to people who have experienced this.
I am at times, but.
Do you think people were really thinking we might be medical professionals? Like, did you really have to make that point?
Listen, I would say to you that there are a lot of people who we love and, of course, who we respect that need to take things less seriously or less literally or really need to consider the sources that they're consuming things respectfully.
But okay, I'm sorry, bro.
No, you go.
But thank you. When I was younger and I was thinking of, like, you had to have a nickname to be a really good player, and I was going to give myself Dr. Slay. So
when you were a kid, you were going to be Dr. Slay?
Yeah, so I kind of
that's what you told him to go with, Dawn. That's what you wanted.
I'm just saying
I thought it was getting something different. I'm not going to lie.
That didn't take
time.
How did that not take?
Because
Sorry, Buck.
They said Slay was good enough. Oh. So
the sleigh ride. Listen, I went on the sleigh ride at the Music City Bowl on Thursday. That was an overwhelming experience. I don't know how you.
But let me ask you this, Buck. Did Richard Rising have a nickname?
He sure did. Old Dick Rising is out here roaming the God knows where. I don't know where old Dick Rising is right now, but he's doing it Dick Rising's way.
Oh, I can't do it.
What was the original question?
I don't know. How did we get here?
We're out of time anyway.
Buck Rising
at Buck Rising
to Tennessee Vols because you took Slay away and you cost him the game.
Yeah, you come over to our seats at the Tennessee-Purdue game. Tennessee's in complete control of the game. You take Slay away, and Purdue scores the next 16 points.
No, we were on the field for all of that. We were having people demanding that we went back to the field because as soon as we left the field, they imploded.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a long walk.
Put this on me, Ricky Bobby.
I'll put it on whoever. I'll put whatever I want on you. Mark's Payne Real Estate Hotline. I don't know where we're going, but we're going here. Buddy Allen Carpet One presents Buck Rising on 3HL.
Don't you put that on him.
They sure do. You know what I want to put on? In fact, I have it on right now. I got my Buddy Allen Carpet One hoodie on.
It's soft.
And not only do they have the most comfortable hoodies, they will put you in the best position as far as your home renovations are concerned with your full-service flooring needs. You want carpet, they got it. You want hardwood, they got it. You want fake hardwood, they got it too. They'll get you the exact flooring surface that you need to fit your family's needs and your home. BuddyAllenCarpet1.com is where you go. Jenna, Zach, they're the best family-owned business. They've been doing it for a while, and they make, of course, my visits with our friends at 3HL possible. We're very grateful for BuddyAllenCarpet1.com.
Thank you, Buck. Good stuff. We'll be listening tomorrow.
Goodbye, friends.
Right.
Goodbye, friends. Goodbye.
He kind of Jim Nance's that thing, doesn't he?
Goodbye, friends.
And Nance lives in Nashville. Like, if Nance,
No,
if
it's
Nance,
an aggressive Nance, though. Nance is not.
Do you think Nance takes if Nance is in his car right now listening, do you think he takes offense to Buck using his stuff? Hello, friends.
No, because in my mind, Jim Nance is like the nicest man ever. You know?
The whole hello,
like he's
friends.
just professional, nice,
Mr. Rogers.
all of that. And Buck is not.
He's the anti-Nance.
He's the anti.
He's the bizarro Nance.
He's the anti. Yeah.
Go and do yourself a favor. Google at some point why Jim Nance says hello, friends, when he starts a broadcast. It's a tribute to his father. It's phenomenal. All right, when we come back, there was a Titans fan named Chad Davis who lost his wedding band.
I heard about that.
The Titans are chasing rings, people, and they're finding them. I'll tell you about it next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Hey, I want to tell you about a new brake repair service I'm really excited about. They're called New Brakes. They just entered the national market not too long ago, and several of you guys have sent me messages about how awesome they are, which I already know, but I do love the messages as well because I pass them along. New Brakes is a mobile brake repair service. They come to you to fix your brakes. Very, very cool. We all have things to do. We're all busy, right? So let New Brakes send a certified brake tech wherever you are to fix your brakes, and that's not all. New Brakes is more affordable than getting your brakes fixed at a dealership or repair shop. They use premium brake parts. They warranty all of their work, so you know it's always done right. And they're backed by thousands of 5-star reviews. Go to the website, check them out. It's really an incredible service that they provide. Newbrakes.com, that's nubrakes.com. Get an instant online quote, choose your repair date, and then they come to you to fix your brakes. Convenience at its finest. Tell them you're his own listener, and you will get a 10% discount. It's newbrakes.com. That's nubrakes.com.
Woodside.
All right, y'all, 104.5 The Zone. Brett Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. We're at you.
And they stay there. And they stay there.
And they stay there. Up,
Tighten
down.
up.
Up and
Tighten
down.
up.
Up and
Tighten
down,
up.
people.
So I can relate to this story. Chad Davis, Titans fan, lost his wedding ring. I lost mine at the Big Kahuna down in Destin.
I have not heard this story.
It's a water park down in Destin, Big Kahuna.
Okay. I did.
Well,
I
like
don't
in
know
Pulp
it.
Fiction, the Big Kahuna burger. Did I have a bite of that tasty burger?
So you lost it.
Yeah, but then they dragged the pool and stuff at the end when everybody leaves, and then they found it. So I just went the next day and got it. Like scuba gear and all, they get in that thing looking for stuff. Well, Chad Davis put this on Twitter. I lost my wedding band somewhere at the game today. It's not the only time I lost my. It's a good thing, dudes. Wedding bands are pretty much like you can just go. Now I get the rubber ones.
I have the real one in a safe. I wear a rubber one all the time because I lost 3 during our honeymoon.
Well, what in the world is the point of keeping the real one in the safe then? If you've already lost them, it's not like it's
that's the
sentimental
fourth
because
one.
it
I
was
mean,
like
what the
the
hell?
marriage.
I'll
I
put
mean, you might
bags
as well
on that
just
one.
wear the real one.
The
get a
real
tattoo.
one, yeah, I won't do the tattoo. The real one I wore on our wedding day, and I wear it for special occasions. The rubber one is where I wear every day because I know I'll lose
If
it.
you jam your finger playing basketball, you can get the rubber one off your finger.
Just don't.
Just don't jam your finger.
Yeah, like.
Well, the next obvious question is, Mayor, when are you playing basketball? Anyway. All right, Chad, back to Chad
Double
Davis.
D, so I ain't gonna put that.
shot. You got
Yeah,
that
that's I
3-point shot.
saw Double
Listen,
D. Double D came from somebody.
Slay and Lil Ron came to
somewhere.
Drew Doherty's 3-on-3 tournament this weekend, and
boy was Euro.
he was so happy. He shot way too many threes because you were there.
I loved it.
Oh, is he trying to show out?
Oh, I loved it.
Then he
love
took it
it.
to the basket.
Yeah.
He's good though.
That's what
huh?
he
is.
He's a little baller.
Yeah,
He's a defensive tackle playing point guard. That's what he
he
is.
is. They can handle it.
Get
It's
out the-
shifty though.
Physicality,
A
man.
little Deontay Foreman to him.
That's I was gonna say. He's very Foreman, right? Let's go.
told you.
Contact. Come on.
I told you a ref told me last year, he's like, man, your kid is the hardest kid out here to officiate
Yeah.
because he's looking for contact. He's 11.
Right.
Chad Davis on Twitter. I lost my wedding band somewhere at the game today. From the day we got married, sick to my stomach, was sitting in section 202. Please share in case someone found it. I would pay to recover it at Titans, #Titans. Burke Nihill, president and CEO of the Titans, tweets out, all good, Chad. Someone will be in touch about how to get it back to you.
That is, hey man,
That is awesome.
that don't happen, y'all. I'm telling you.
So
That don't
I-
happen.
So I texted
Should
Burke. I
have.
said, you're the man. And he said, as general principal, our organization doesn't sleep until we get the ring.
I like
Which I
that.
thought was a great
I like
That is
Great
great.
comeback.
Oh,
Good and
that's
savvy.
great.
And he said, really lucky to work with 200 plus servants. Saw the tweet, sent out an all call, and within 10 minutes, we had everybody still at the stadium out in the snow looking for the ring and found it.
That's cold, man.
So it wasn't like somebody just found it. I mean, they
Yeah, they went and
physically
looked for it.
went out there. So I
In
tweeted
the snow. It was snowing. An hour after the game or so, it started to snow over there.
Yeah. I tweeted something about on that tweet after they had found it. I tweeted something like, I love this city fans team, whatever. And somebody said, you act like other cities and teams wouldn't do this. You need to get out more. I'm like,
You need to get out more?
Like what?
like, dude, I'm in a
Where do
different
you live?
city.
In your basement under a
Right?
rock? What are you?
Like, I'm in a different city every single weekend
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
18 straight
Right.
weeks in the
Right.
fall.
That doesn't count, Don. Go to an airport once in a while.
Right. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Get
Get
out
on a
more.
plane.
And my
Like,
response
literally, a
was
sideline reporter who's out every week for 18 weeks.
not only out, but like with a different team, city, fan base every single week during football season and all of last year when
Dawn, have
the
you-
entire country was freaking closed.
Have you ever been to Vegas? I mean, men lose their wedding rings there all the time.
Do
Hey,
they?
your girl pulled an all-nighter at after the Vegas Bowl.
Oh, I'm talking about Babsy.
Had that 6 a.m. flights. There's no point. My game was late.
And it's Vegas. What
10:30
would you
your
sleep
time?
for? Why would you go to sleep?
Now that we've gone down this path, your game of choice has to be slots.
Why would you say that?
I'm just guessing.
No, my game of choice was poker.
Poker.
But where we stayed, we were kind of like at the end of the strip, so their poker room was not open.
So you did what?
So I did blackjack.
There you go. I like that, Babs.
All right, I am corrected.
Babs, I did not. I didn't think you had the patience to
blackjack
play poker.
is the game, especially if you're going for the free drinks.
Oh yeah.
Because blackjack takes the longest to play.
Yeah. Poker though, Babs,
poker takes a while too.
mad,
Actually,
Babs.
poker's the longest.
Oh, I can get mad. Yeah.
At the dealer?
You?
No,
Or-
for
or at-
poker.
Yeah.
No, for poker.
No,
yeah.
at some of the other.
At the players?
Yeah.
For playing the wrong cards?
It is interesting though.
I get mad at blackjack when
if I
people
read
play
them
the wrong cards.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like that should have still been in the deck.
Dad taught me early.
But you
See
know
what
what
the
though?
dealer is showing? Don't you ever hit on that.
Yeah,
But
and
you
then
know
you'll
what?
have some grandma from, Iowa City who hits on 18 and gets like a face card. And you're like, come on now.
But
Why
let me
are you
ask you this.
grouping grandmas together? That's
Why-
bunk.
Why would
Because
you
grandmas
hit
just
on-
keep hitting.
Stereotype.
Why would you
grandma.
take the directions of a book that they made?
What do you mean? Oh, you're one of those.
No, I'm just asking a question.
You're one
Why
of the
would
ones
you
that
take the
you're
directions
You're
of
one
a
of the
book?
ones that you do what you're not supposed to do,
No, you do
and
what
then
you
everybody
feel.
at the table loses except for you.
I mean, hey.
You're that.
I mean, well, okay, so what if
take
you
all,
lose?
all the cards out of the deck. I was just telling you. So it's grandma's in
Somebody gonna
Iowa
give me some
City
money
and
back?
Slay.
If I take an L for the team.
Slay.
Yeah,
Grandma's
Slay.
and Slay.
That's right. We roll together.
I told
Oh,
Babs
man.
during a break today, I said, I can't wait. I really hope I still know you when you're 70.
Get off my lawn, kids.
By
And
the
don't
way-
pet the horse.
Harold Landry ranked number 9 in the NFL in sacks, and Danico Autry, 19. There you go.
This defense, man.
Where are we tomorrow?
This whole team.
We are at Nashville West.
Yes.
On Charlotte Pike.
It's the last
at
one?
Buffalo Wild Wings. Last regular season one. We may have something in the works. But yeah, come see us. Nashville West had the first one. They get the last one. Y'all represent. Coach's Show next.
Let's go.
See ya.